challenged us, and really they probably should have won the game. Really proud of our players for being resilient, for finding a way to win, for making the plays you have to make to win that type of a game. And we'll look to get better as we take the bye week and look ahead to Charlotte. So we've had a long, hard camp, hard first 3 weeks, and we are in the process now of just trying to get ourselves healthy.
Quick questions for Coach Rhule, please. Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll go first to John DeCarlo with AlScoop.com.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Hey, John.
Oh, hey, just wondering how you guys are just doing health-wise after the game and heading into, being able to heal up during the bye week, injuries, major.
I think, sorry, John, there's a little bit of a delay here.
Oh, okay.
I think the big thing is right now is that, we have a couple guys banged up. Percy was able to finish the game. Leon Johnson's been out since the first game. We expect to have him back. So we came out pretty healthy. We just have a lot of guys that are just probably a little nicked and tired. We've played 90 snaps the last 2 games. I think that showed up a little bit with Tyler, kind of like man coverage, just, playing too many snaps. So, but, Leon will be back. Hershey, I think, will be healthy. And, it was good to have Praise back. I thought he played a great game. So we're pretty healthy.
Are there guys, with the bye week coming up and having the opportunity to maybe get some extra work in with those guys, and then you head into Charlotte and then Tulane, are there some guys that are kind of on the fringe that are really maybe on the verge of playing more snaps, some guys that are close to making an impact and playing more?
Everything all right? I think Raquel Armstead's one. We put him back to return the opening kickoff. We put him in a little bit, had a penalty. And I think both he and Jagger Gardner are going to have to play a lot more as we move forward. We've done what we had to do to win the first 3 games, but we know, after the bye week, we have 9 straight. So I think those guys, we played all the wideouts. I think we played like 10 wideouts in the game. We played 5 linemen. I think Jovan and Benson are freshmen. They're getting closer to being able to play. And then we played all of our defensive linemen, linebackers. Chappelle Russell's a freshman that we hope can play a little bit more as we move forward. So just probably some of those freshmen we look forward to stepping up and helping us.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
We'll take our next question from Dan Tortora with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media.
Hey, Coach. How you doing today?
Hey, Dan. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. To start off the season, obviously, like you said, you have a break coming up, but with a win against a long, storied, and respected program as Penn State, followed by 2 road contests where Coach Tuberville said a little bit earlier on the call that it's one of the hardest things to do in college football is win on the road. What can you say about your team in the teams that you've beaten and your ability to win on the road starting off early this season?
Well, I think our kids are a good group. I think we travel well. I think it's a credit to, our president of our university traveled with us on Saturday. So I think we travel first class. I think our kids enjoy going on the road. I think the biggest thing is that when you get to those games, you have to just control what you can control and focus on yourselves. And, there is no crowd. There is no, other players. It's just us. And I think our kids have bought into that, probably at Cincinnati more so than UMass. And those have been 2 kind of hard places to play. UMass really being at the Gillette Stadium, not a ton of people there, not a lot of energy coming from them. But we had to create our own energy. And at Cincinnati, I know they had a whiteout going on, a lot of people there. I think we had to be able to withstand the crowd there. So our guys, I think they just enjoy going on the road and playing football. And, we're certainly looking forward to going to Charlotte one more, so 3 straight road games, and then finally getting a chance to come back home versus Tulane.
And to speak on your running back, Jahad Thomas, 135 in his first game, 193, a little bit less against UMass at 66, but he's scored in every game so far. How important has Thomas been to you in that rushing attack and in trying to balance this offense with P.J. Walker?
Well, I think he's played really well. Obviously he's had 2 fumbles at the end of the game where we had a chance to ice the game that I think are the lone spots that we have to improve upon. But he's played really well. He's played a lot of snaps. He's picked up blitzes for us. He's done everything. I think he's been a real leader for us. Saturday, I think the tail of that game was our inability to run the football, and that really wasn't him. It was just, they made a commitment to stop it, and we couldn't really handle what they were doing up front. But Jahad has done everything we've asked. He's caught the ball in the backfield on Saturday, and really made a lot of plays.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
We'll go next to Mark Narducci with Philadelphia Inquirer.
Matt, I wanted to ask you just more the comfort level you have with the kicking game. You said that was such a source of problems the first 2 years, and just, we saw it again the other day with Austin. He's now 7 for 7. Just how much more of a comfort level, and what does that do for a whole team morale-wise?
Well, I think it allows us, especially early in games, to kick 40, 45-yard field goals. Know that he's going to make more than he misses. And really so far he's been perfect. And, know that we guarantee points, just keep trying to accumulate points. I think in the punting game, Starzy's done a great job. I think we had 2 down, 3 or 4 inside the 20 and, a couple inside the 10 and 1 inside the 5. So, playing the field position game, we have a great defense. We want to play a field position game, and Starzyk has allowed us to do that. So both kids, they're only sophomores, they're getting better, but they've taken a major step forward this year.
And how about the effect it has on a whole team too? When you know that, okay, if we don't score a touchdown, we still could get some points, because it must have been demoralizing at times the previous couple of years.
Well, I think we preach to our kids to be effective in all 3 phases, and so when we are, I know obviously it creates energy, and when we're not, other sides have to compensate. So when you get down there and you know that you have points in hand, lets the quarterback play with a little bit less pressure on himself, because he doesn't have to try to score a touchdown every play. He knows he has points. It just, I think, in my mind, allows people to relax, do their jobs, and not have to focus on doing their jobs and worried about, hey, can so and so do theirs? They have 2 guys they can really depend on right now.
Yeah, and one last thing, I'm sure as a coaching staff, you don't want to have to throw 48 times a game, right?
I will do whatever we got to do to win. I want to be able to run the football, but I'm not going to be upset with PJ for throwing for 391 yards. We're gonna do whatever we have to do to win, and if teams are going to put 10 guys in the box, it's nice to know that we have that many guys who can make plays. I think probably coming into the year, everyone was focused on Robbie, and I think now they're seeing we have a lot of guys besides Robbie who can make plays. So I was proud of our guys for throwing it, when they had to. That being said, I will say this: I want to be able to run the ball for more than 66 yards a game. That's not what we want to do.
Right. Thank you.
Sure, buddy.
We'll take our next question from Donald Hunt with the Philadelphia Tribune.
Matt, how you doing?
Hey, Donald, how are you, man?
Okay, man. Listen, man, on PJ, can you just talk about, 391 yards, that's a career high for him, and that's pretty impressive, and a lot of that stuff was done, in the crucial moments.
Yeah, I thought PJ was big in the big moments, made some big throws. Probably, had the 2 picks he'd probably like to take away. But, when you ask you to throw the ball 48 times, he's gonna throw the ball to your team every once in a while, But I thought he did all that, and the thing I was proud of is he stood in there and took some hits, and he wasn't afraid to take the hit and make the throw when it counted. So he's getting better. I think he's a guy that's done it with his legs so far this year. He's done it with his head. It's good to see him do it with his arm.
Yeah, and Matt, just get your overall thoughts on the 3-0 start. This is pretty impressive for Temple football, and it's quite an accomplishment, particularly after this last win over UMass.
Well, I'm really proud of the guys. I told them today, they've worked really hard, in the entire offseason, but they had a great preseason camp. They've gone out in 3 games. They've played 3 hard-fought games with a lot of adversity, and they've just kept playing for 60 minutes. And to be 3-0, that's really an impressive accomplishment for them to this point. And now they got to take a break, for a week, catch our breath, and then we have to go play 9 straight. And we have to get better over those 9 and have the same focus, if not better, to have a chance to do something special.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir.
And we have time for one more for Coach Rhule, please.
And we'll take our final question for Coach from Matt Bender with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Pretty good, thanks for asking. Now, does a win like this kind of show how far the program's come? You guys put together that final touchdown, that final field goal drive. Does it kind of show, just in general, how far this program has come from, say, 2 years ago, where you guys lost to Fordham?
I think the biggest thing is it shows the resiliency of the players, and just how far they've come over 3 years. A lot of those kids that were out there, in those final moments were the same kids that, were some of those heartbreaking losses 2 years ago, and we always talk to our team about the 2013, UCF team and how they won, I think, 6 or 7 games by less than a touchdown. We're going to be in battles like this. We have to have the right approach, and I think they finally understood that on Saturday, which was great.
Now, how's Broderick Yancey coming along? I know you said he was in classes last week.
Yeah, we hope he can play against Charlotte. We're hopeful he'll play against Charlotte. So we're kind of waiting for, we're not really doing much this week, but we're hopeful he'll be ready to go.
And one last thing. After getting a chance to kind of watch the film, what did you see? What was the cause of the struggle for the run game? What did you see?
I think they had a great plan. They basically said you're going to have to throw it. They put everyone down there and just pressured us. And, we didn't play as good up front as we have. A lot of their guys, we didn't win as many one-on-ones on the offensive line as we have the previous weeks. And that's what it comes down to. We got to win our one-on-ones and let Jihad do his thing. And too many times he was hitting the backfield because, one of their kids whipped one of our guys, to be quite honest.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure. Thanks, buddy.
Coach, thank you for the time this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you again next Monday. And again, there's Coach Matt Rhule from Temple. The Owls with an open week this week. Up next for them, October 2nd, a Friday night game at Charlotte.